Are you ready?
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
I was right.
The Sixers win the game.
Let's go!
I am the best.
And here are your hosts, Jessica Town and Rob Lange.
You're a jackass.
Embrace the madness. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into episode 96 of The Madness. We are back together after a week off and a really terrible 30-minute rant by me, Jessica Town, Rob Lange. Yeah, you should probably put your microphone in front of your face. See, Jess has been in vacation mode for like the last 12 days, and you can tell.
Here out of nowhere. And then I was like, wait, I can't just sit here and
No, you
talk
actually
into
have to have a
nothing.
microphone there. That's typically how it works. So
My
anyway, it is August 7th as we record here today, the day before the Eagles' preseason opener against the Tennessee Titans at the Lincoln Financial Field Thursday night at 7 o'clock, which means we will pretty much start our consistent Eagles talk on this show. I mean, every week from here on out, there's going to be something to talk about, you know, whether it's roster cuts, roster moves, who looked good, who didn't look good. So we will get to that in the second part of the show today. Before we get into all the heavy details, The Madness brought to you by ProSportsNotes.com, powered by WildfireRadio.com. Catch us on iTunes, The Madness with Rob Lange. You can catch us on YouTube on the Pro Sports Notes channel. Don't forget about WildfireRadio.com every Friday morning, 9 to 11. Although the podcast, I believe, is getting up a little earlier now because I have the ability to just plug it right in. So keep an eye out. If you're subscribing, you don't have to keep an eye out because your phone will tell you that we are up and a new episode is going on. So
If you don't subscribe, you hate convenience.
If you don't subscribe, you hate humanity. I'm just putting it out there.
That's aggressive.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
Hating convenience is a little
No. Just tell them how it is, Jess. So, Jess, how has your vacationing been?
I wish I was still there. And
Well, you're about to go back on one.
yeah,
technically.
I'm about to go back.
Yeah.
Because my fam's there, but I had things that I had to, be an
Such
adult.
as the madness.
Such as the madness, but, had to be an adult. And, yeah, I'll get to go back down. But it was nice. It was nice to hang out with some friends. We were in the Outer Banks with all of our friends, so that was a really good time. And seeing some friends that we don't get to see very often because they live in various locations. And I saw a little too much of some based on the Speedos.
Yeah, the Speedo wearing.
It was stashes and asses. That was the goal, and it upset me greatly. However, the Speedo choices.
I'm upset by it.
The Speedo choices were pretty funny. I had to give them a lot of credit.
Speedo itself is funny.
So, but when there were, how many of them were there? 6 or 7 of them, all in Speedos with mustaches. It was pretty funny. And it got even better because they're boys. So what did they on the beach the entire time they played soccer, tennis, and then they were playing spike ball and, every.
In the Speedos. This is all happening
all
in the Speedos.
Well, which they realized it gave them a lot more freedom to move, which they enjoyed. The swim trunks really just hindered their movement for a lot of the athletics, so they enjoyed that. But it was just funny because there was a couple different times where little kids were walking by and their parents were really trying to steer them as far away from the men in Speedos as they could. But
yeah.
there were some funny ones. One of our friends had on one that had a skull and crossbones on the front, and on the butt it said ARG, which was pretty funny. There was another one that had a donut on the front, and on the back it said, "We'll swim for donuts." There was another one that was just a denim Speedo, just denim. And then
I've just gotten
another one that
old,
was
I
a
think.
tuxedo on the front. And then, what was the other one? There was one more funny one. Oh, one that said, it had a picture of George Washington on the front. It said, "I will not tell a lie." They were pretty funny. Like, it was entertaining. It was entertaining for them to have the mustaches made it creepy.
I don't even want to know.
The mustaches made it creepy. Oh my God. But we had a really good time. The Outer Banks was a lot of fun.
Any wild horses where you were?
No, just a lot of large ass spiders, which I did not enjoy.
Not a big fan of the spider.
No one warned me that there were that many spiders and that large of spiders.
You were in Corolla?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm upset that everyone who I talked to that was like, "Oh, you'll love the Outer Banks," including you, didn't warn me about the abnormal size spiders.
Where I was, I do not remember because Where Corolla is, if you go, literally, we had to drive 6 miles on the beach to get to where our house was. You couldn't get there without driving on the beach. Like, you needed 4-wheel drive. And it was this town called Corova.
Okay.
So it was a little bit, so there weren't very big, but literally the one night there are just 20 wild horses in our backyard just hanging out.
I would have preferred the horses because, oh my God, I couldn't leave the house after it got dark. Because in
That
every,
bad, huh?
oh,
Wow.
I've never seen anything like this. Like, this was my worst nightmare. The spiders, I mean, routinely were just like these honking things, and they were in every corner of everything. There was a wet, like, I had to have someone walk in front of me everywhere I went because I couldn't walk it. Like, I was terrified to walk into one. And the spiders were just so big. One day there was this one, it was like one of my friends told me it was like a garden spider or something, but I've never seen anything like it with my own 2 eyes that wasn't like in a tank in a zoo or aquarium. It was huge, and I'm not a spider. No spiders for Jesse. No spiders for Jesse. Jesse's not a fan of the spiders.
We can tell.
And it made me very sad.
I'm sorry.
But otherwise,
and
I texted my parents and I was like, "What's the spider situation like in Avalon?" Because
I'm sure that wasn't a weird text at all.
They were like, "They're very tiny. Why? What's wrong?" They're enormous here.
Yes.
I can't. It was a lot. But other than that, good time.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, we will now get to the sports conversation. Obviously, we have another division to break down as we continue to build towards the NFL season coming down. What's about 4 weeks, right?
4 weeks.
4 weeks from tomorrow. So we'll talk about the NFC South today with the Saints, Falcons, Panthers, and Buccaneers. So we'll do that in a little bit. But before we do that, I think we have to start our show off with the team that is playing right now, with the team that is amazingly, in the midst of a wild card hunt, and that is the Philadelphia Phillies, fresh off of their loss last night. What was the final? 7-4?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so 7-4.
8-4.
8-4. They were up 3-2.
After that 8th run went in, that's when I was like, I might fall asleep now and be fine and be okay with it.
Up 3-2. Bullpen blows the game. Surprise, surprise.
Shocking.
It's been happening all year. And, I look at this team, and I, last week, Jess, in my little bit of a rant, I talked about, because the day I did the rant was the day of the deadline. I think the deadline had just passed. And I was unhappy. I was unhappy with this team because at the time they were tied for the second wild card. And I had said, look, I know that they can't fix all of their holes right now. I get that. I understand that. But I watched the Braves and the Nationals each get 3 relievers apiece without having to give up a lot in terms of prospects. And I watched the Phillies not go after one pitcher. I watched the Mets, who are behind the Phillies, who the Phillies have owned all year, go get Marcus Stroman from the Blue Jays and give up 2 prospects that aren't in the top 100 of prospects in Major League Baseball. And I ask myself, why, if our farm system is so bad, which I agree that it is, are you not moving on from some of these prospects to better your, and I'm not saying the Bombs and the Hazleys and the real big names, but you had an opportunity to at least add a bullpen arm that could help. And a real one, not the ones that, the guys that they did, the one they signed off the scrap heap or traded for cash considerations. Not what I'm talking about. And why you didn't look at the starting pitching market? Because the fact is you are in a playoff hunt. You're in a playoff hunt. And maybe one arm, with the way that Nola is pitching, can make a difference in a 5-game series where you got to win 3 games. Maybe. Right? And everyone says, well, if you get the second wild card and you have to face the Nationals, you're not going to beat Scherzer. You're going to be pitching Nola.
Right.
So why not? I mean, like that the logic's not there. I get not wanting to give up the big name prospects because you're probably not a World Series team. But why not give up the lesser known prospects to actually give your pitching staff a chance? Makes me mad.
To not even put out feelers for it.
That's what I mean.
Is what makes, like, if you're obvious, I think everyone's on the same page with the not trading the big names. Obviously, Hazley's not going to be one. He's kind of found a role here. He's been playing really well right now.
Bomb sounds like he's going to be an upcoming star.
Right.
Maybe.
They're not going to give up those.
Right.
But as you said, with the Mets, if they're able to give up, a couple who are really not known, not really regarded as anything right now, why couldn't the Phillies do that? And that's a really interesting question to pose, because that's where the question comes in for the higher level management, right? Like, did Matt Klentak have a really good offseason? Yeah. But during the season, he's not been great. In fact, he's been kind of silent.
By the way.
And it's
And I know what you're saying.
You need somebody that's like, think about the Eagles, for instance. They were poised for a Super Bowl run in 2017, and they still made a move at the deadline that added them some help. It was known that they were poised for a Super Bowl run.
They tried last year. They had a receiver.
Right. And, adding Jay Ajayi, it wasn't a world beater of a deal. It wasn't it wasn't changing the fact that, they weren't not a Super Bowl team and then all of a sudden became a Super Bowl team. But it's making an effort to better your team when you have the ability to do so. Right. And the fact that I don't see that effort being made, and, we talked about this. I wanted them to do something, but I didn't want them to be overly aggressive and, waste things, and ignore reality. But it's a problem to shut the door on the season completely. And that's what it seems like they are doing.
Yes. And
because let's face it, the Mets are the hottest team in baseball right now.
And they're right on their tail now.
Yeah.
Right on their tail. And here's my problem is, look, everyone, the big thing everyone wanted to say, well, the Phillies aren't one player away. Well, let me tell you something about that statement, one player away. In team sports, you're never one player away because your team has to play together as a team. So, yeah, the Phillies weren't adding one player and going to become a World Series team. But if they go out and add one player, do the other players in the team go, oh, wow, management thinks we have a chance here? Maybe they step their game up. Maybe everybody kind of turns it into another gear. That's what happens. Teams get hot by doing that. They all start coming together and turning things into another gear. To me, McVale and Klentak failed because they didn't even, come close. Corey Dickerson's probably going to be a nice player to help him. Probably if he could stay healthy. All right? That shot he hit last night was a mammoth blast.
Good Lord, that was insane.
But your pitching is, look, I know hitting has been a problem at times, and we'll get to that because there's some things I want to talk about there. No doubt about it. But the number one issue with this team is pitching.
Absolutely.
And to not address it at all, and don't give me Drew Smyly and Jason Vargas. That's not, to me, that is beyond a minor move. Okay? Nobody wanted Drew Smyly except for the Phillies. Okay? Vargas, I don't know what the guy is. I mean, he pitched well. We'll see later on the night. He pitched well the other night, but the bats didn't get going. And that's been part of the problem with the Phillies this year is the inconsistencies and the little things haven't matched up. So when it comes to that, we've talked about Klentak, we've talked about McVale. And look, Jess, I've said it plenty of times in the show, and I know you agree. There's a place for analytics, but there's also being too analytical. Those guys are too analytical, and Gabe Kapler is the same. And listen, okay, I know who I am. I know I'm Mr. Brett Brown apologist. I know that when people came, but this is different because I look at a guy in Gabe Kapler and his pitching and hitting coach, and they don't have a feel for the game, especially in in-game situations. They do not have a feel.
Which is beyond me.
And the reason is, in my opinion, is because they rely too heavy on the analytics. Like, Gabe, you played the game. You played this game.
They have a feel and they don't rely on it. I know for a fact that they all have a feel for the game. They don't utilize it. They go the other. They ignore it and go the other direction.
Gabe Kapler and Chris Young played in Major League Baseball.
Yes.
And they weren't stars, but they had productive careers.
Yes.
They had productive careers. So when, for example, Hector Neris is sitting out with a suspension, understood.
Is it done yet?
It is now.
All right.
But you're up 3-2 in the ninth inning the other night against the Chicago White Sox. There's a man on second base. Nicasio, we decided, right, was in the game?
It was Nicasio. It was
Nicasio has like a 15-pitch battle with whoever was at the plate and ends it with a K to get the second out of the inning and just screams in jubilation. Has all the momentum in the world. Why, as a manager, do you meddle with that and say, I want to go lefty on lefty?
Analytics.
Oh, by the way, I want to go lefty on lefty with a batter whose numbers against left-handed pitchers are better than his numbers against right-handed pitchers. There's no reason. Just let the guy, I guarantee you, and obviously I can't guarantee you because I don't know for 100%, but I feel pretty damn confident that Nicasio would have closed the door in that game and it was over.
I literally said, they better not pull him after this. Because I saw...
Warming up.
Alvarez was warming up, and I was like, they better just leave him in. And all of a sudden, Gabe comes out, and I was like, they're going to lose this game. Now, I didn't think they would lose that game 4 hours later.
Right.
But, and I mean, it was crazy because we were trying to leave and go out that night at the beach. And we were like, all right, we'll call the Uber. We'll leave after this inning. The Phillies are about to win. Like, we'll leave after this inning. So after they tied the game, we're like, all right, forget it. We'll just leave. We left, realized we didn't really want to be out, came back, got comfy clothes on, had a snack, and then sat down to watch the end of the game. It was ridiculous. And I hated every minute of it. I mean, when Roman Quinn was out there striking people out, that was fine. But then it ended poorly.
My fear for this team is it doesn't matter what talent they have if they continue to not have feel for the game or in the front office have this idea where analytics wins out and we're not going to do anything. So, in my opinion, who does it come down on to make sure that the right things happen from here on out? And that's John Middleton. He's got to, and look, give the guy credit. He's the reason.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, he's the reason these guys are here.
He's the reason they're here.
Okay? And I know people aren't happy with Bryce, and there's parts of what he's doing that I'm not happy with, but we want Bryce Harper here. And if you don't, you're a jackass. Bottom line.
If you don't love and support Bryce Harper, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you go into the jackass realm.
You can go find a new team and hang out over there.
Right.
Go be a Mets fan.
And that's my fear, is that the management, both game management and front office management, is in a place that I don't know if you can recover while they're all there. Now, Klentak and McVay aren't going anywhere. They just got extensions.
Right. And Matt Klentak's not going to fire Gabe Kapler.
But John Middleton can force the hand there.
Yeah, but will he?
Listen, this season, after Middleton spends all that money, if it ends without a playoff berth. Now, look, if they sneak into a wild card and lose in the wild card game, doesn't matter. Gabe's coming back because that's a selling point, right? Hey, we made the playoffs for the first, and that's what front offices do, right? If they don't make it, or if they start to collapse here and just fall totally apart, which I don't expect to happen.
I hope.
I think because they have enough talent on this team where they're going to win enough games to stay in the thick of this race throughout August. I mean, and let's face it, it would not be Philly if they didn't keep us at least hanging in there for these 9-40 games. I tweeted the other night,
they do this fun thing where they piss me off to no extent, but then I keep going back to watch. I don't know why. It's because I'm a fan or whatever.
The last 2 nights,
and they keep pulling me back in. No, I have too, and you're going to keep doing it because they play tonight at 9:40, tomorrow at 9:45, and Friday at 10:15 because they're out in San Fran.
Yeah.
But then the next day is a 4:05 p.m., so we're good, and then they come back.
So when they go Friday, Saturday, Sunday out there, right? Or is it Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Is it 2 games?
No, it's 3. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, so they're off Thursday, and they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No.
Yeah.
They play today.
Yeah.
They play.
Is it a 4-game set in Arizona?
4. It's 4 in Arizona and 4 in San Fran. So they finish tonight. They'll fly to San Fran, and then they play Thursday.
Yeah, but this is only the 3rd game of the Arizona series.
No, it's not. It's the 4th.
No. They won the first.
So they only do 3 then in Arizona. Okay. That's my bad. Sorry, I had it covered. I wasn't looking at the beginning. So, yeah, they play.
This girl over
here.
They
play tonight. Shut up. If you weren't asking questions and just let me talk, we wouldn't have this problem.
Always my fault.
It is. So, they play tonight in Arizona, and then they play tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in San Fran, and then they are off Monday and play Tuesday against the Cubs here.
That's right. The Cubs are in town. Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some wins out of them.
We can only hope.
I do want to talk though. One of my issues with Bryce, and it's kind of, and I know his average says with runners in scoring position he hits well, but for some reason in these clutch moments in games, like late in games with the bases loaded, or even last night, 2 men on, 1 man, or was it 2 men on, 1 man out, and then him and Reese and him strike out back to back. That can't happen from your 2 big guys. They got to get a hit there. Something has to happen to get those runs in.
I agree, but I'm not going to come down on them hard.
I'm not going to come down.
I don't care how much money Bryce Harper's making. At the end of the day, you're all professional baseball players, and when someone should score, when someone is on base, you should hit them in.
Yeah.
So I'm just so sick of people being all up and not you, just people on the internet.
There's way too many people
hiding behind logos of things. They're I just it's not your money. What does it matter to you? What impact does that have on your life? It's not the way that they worked out. It's not going to hinder them signing anybody else or doing anything. They're not completely hamstrung by this Bryce Harper contract, that is going to impact them signing and doing things. They did it in a very smart way for a 13-year contract. So anybody that's just up in arms and coming down on Bryce Harper, but doesn't have any problems with anybody else, literally is such a jacket. It's unimaginable levels of stupidity.
What don't people understand? That baseball doesn't have a salary cap. They have a luxury tax. And that if teams are willing to pay the luxury tax, that they're going to overpay for players. Is Bryce Harper worth $300? Is any human being?
I am.
Worth $3?
You had to know that was coming when you asked that question. You had to know.
Is any human being worth $330 million? The answer is a resounding no. So, yeah, anyone that makes that money is going to be considered overpaid. But who cares?
No one in the world should be able to make as much money as some of these people do, period.
Yes.
No one in the world should be able to make $170 million over 5 years. No one should be able to make $230 over 5 years. No, that is mind-blowing to me. So just because you're sad and playing video games in your mom's basement at 45 years old doesn't mean you can sit there and criticize these people for being talented at what they do. Yeah, $330 million is an obscure amount of money. Does anybody deserve to make that money? No. But if you're looking at the grand scheme of things and all the MLB baseball players, who are the ones that you're going to put up there that if someone has to make that money, who's going to make it?
Right.
You're going to put, 2 or 3 people up there?
I have to say.
One of them's going to be Bryce Harper.
I have to say your insults of people are making me do this.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Ladies and gentlemen, I have found us an audio board, so you will hear some audio clips. And if Jess wants to give me some, I'll load them in there. We can play them for Jess. I know she's really waiting for this one. Jess, you really wanted me to play this one.
Love me a good Kawhi.
So, I mean, we have them now, so that's I'm excited. And I will only do them when I think Jess will laugh, which is probably never, because Jess doesn't really like the sound drop. You don't like the sound drop, though. You get mad at me when I do.
No, I do it when I don't like it when you insult me when I'm trying to speak about something important, or when I'm talking and I'm being serious and you just like to cut it off by insulting me.
Like that.
Yeah, what if it's
you actually will let me do that?
Laugh, I'll be all in every time. But yeah, I just it's. Obviously, it's, more difficult to stomach when you watch it happen and you watch Reese strike out, you watch Bryce strike out in those kinds of situations. It's really difficult and it sucks.
It does. It frustrates the hell out of you.
It's so frustrating and it sucks. But it doesn't make it any less frustrating when I watch Cesar Hernandez, Adam Hazley, friggin' Sean Rodriguez, who I still can't figure out why he's on this roster.
You want to know why?
When it's anybody, I'm not any less frustrated.
Explain this to me. And here's another one of those Gabe Kapler calls that I just don't get. Okay? First of all, your management screwed up. If you're not going to play Maikel Franco, I don't know why you didn't trade him. I don't get it.
Why not trade him if you're going to put him in triple? Like, he is too good for triple.
So then my thing is this. Okay, you don't trade him. He's here. You don't want him to play every day. Fine. Why not make him your power bat on the bench right now instead of Sean Rodriguez and Andrew Knapp and all these other jackasses that you are making your bench? You have no bench. Like, I understand, like, maybe their thought process now that they have Corey Dickerson and they have Hazley, that Jay Bruce become, but is he alive? Jay Bruce went to the Matt Collins School of disappearing.
Which Matt Collins is back in,
He's back, by the way. He is back. Mac is back, baby.
He's not making this team, I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I started thinking about this. I think they keep 6 or 7 receivers.
They're not going to keep 7 because they're going to end up keeping 5 running backs.
Did they keep 5?
Yeah, and they're going to keep an extra couple cornerbacks too.
They're going to keep extra corner.
And they're going to keep extra linebackers.
And obviously extra safeties. In 2 weeks, you sign Orlando Scandrick and Jonathan Sifrine. You know, they want to make sure that they are.
Andrew Sendejo has been disappointing. Rodney McLeod's not technically cleared yet.
Well, that's what I mean.
And
to me, they want to be prepared.
And they want to keep Avante as a corner.
Yeah, and they want to be prepared with depth. I mean, that's what a lot of these moves have been.
Because at this point, I mean, they've got Ronald Darby slotted as a starting corner, and he's not cleared yet.
Yeah. He was jamming the other day on the sideline with Sidney Jones. Him and Sidney were jamming.
Sydney's looked good apparently.
They were having fun.
Him to stay healthy.
Oh, we'll get to them. We're going to be eagled up today.
We'll get there.
We are going to be eagled up. You know, look, I see the Phillies as a team that is going to frustrate us a lot down the stretch, but we're going to have to be tuned in because they're going to be in the thick of this thing.
Yeah.
Because by the way, someone wrote an article on this. It's the worst wild card race ever. Like, no one wants it. Like, they're all trying to give up the wild card. Like, I know that Washington has been playing better, but they've lost games that they shouldn't lose. You know, I mean, so the Phillies are going to be there at the end.
That happens for other teams, not just the Phillies?
No, it just happens to Philadelphia.
Okay, I was just checking.
Just make sure you get that right.
I had to confirm that really quick. I wasn't sure on that one.
What is happening here?
I just can't stand people. I'm just really frustrated with certain individuals.
Human beings in general?
Well, human beings in general. A couple specific ones. Like, there was one last night. Let me find it.
I hate human beings in general, but for a lot of reasons that don't have to do with sports, just has to do with life in general.
So, okay, I tweeted, you were watching the game last night?
Yes, I watched a good amount of it until I fell asleep.
Did you hear, so the Phillies went up. I forget what the score was. Or it was like right after they took their, did they take their start? No, their starter was still in. It was like towards the end. I think that
Arrieta only went like, what, 5?
I'm not talking about Arrieta. I'm talking about the Diamondbacks. He was still in, and I think he like loaded the bases or something, and like it got kind of quiet. One of those rare moments where Tom McCarthy and Ben Davis weren't speaking, and so you could hear someone in the crowd scream, "Where's Greinke?" which made me laugh really hard. Like, I just heard it, and I was like, oh, that's funny. Someone responds and goes, "The Phillies have a 2% chance to make the playoffs, and you're still watching. I refuse. I boycott." Okay, sweet dude. So I quoted it, and I said, "You're a fake fan, and you can stay on that side." And he responded and goes, "You're the reason Andy McPhail, Matt Klentak, and Gabe Kapler are staying next season. Look at the big picture. The Three Stooges need to leave for the Phillies to ever be good again." First of all, he used the wrong "your" every time, which made me irrationally angry. 2, I'm honored that he thinks I have that much pull within the Phillies organization. I'm honored that he thinks I'm that big of a deal. I'm not. I mean, my dad used to work there, but like, it's not that serious.
I mean, look, the bottom line is, how can we be mad at a guy like this?
It really pisses me off when balls go underneath Rhys Hoskins' chin. It really bugs me.
That's why he's going to be here, because he doesn't like balls going under Rhys's chin.
You know what? I don't blame him for that. I'm sure Rhys doesn't like when balls go under his chin either.
Never mind.
And meanwhile, so then he responds and goes, "I just checked a box score, 4-3 D-backs. A true Phillies fan is happy right now. The more Phillies lose, the better chance management will be fired." Imagine being so stupid and such a big, worthless waste of space that you're cheering for your team to lose.
The only time...
No,
I'm not saying it's okay. But, like, the only times I've ever said something like that was towards the end of the Chip Kelly era, where it was just, everything was just so bad. I just wanted it all to end. I wanted everyone to go away. I wanted Chip to go away and, and like things like that. But No, that's a jacket. It's not a fan. That's a jackass.
You're a fake fan, and you can.
It's not a fan.
You can stay on that side. So when the Phillies get good, when they get their couple pitchers that they need, and when they go on runs and they're constantly in the playoff conversation, when Ben Simmons is shooting threes, and when Carson Wentz wins the MVP, you all can stay on that side. You know what?
I'm sorry. I was kind of, I'm scrolling.
You weren't
through Twitter.
listening to me at all.
No, I listened to you, but I'm scrolling through Twitter, and I see you posting about the show being back on, and then I saw Joe's response, and it really made me laugh.
Such an idiot. He's funny.
Which,
but
by the way, so you post these pictures of your creative, awesome bathing suits, repping the madness hardcore, to which I received a text from my friends and cousins and family, and in a group text, and they all said, "Rob,
where's yours?"
Jess is out there. Jess is out there promoting your show on her bathing suit. I want to know when and where I could buy the Madness Speedo. And I said, something tells me if I put on a Speedo and posted that picture to Twitter, we would lose followers. It would have the direct reverse effect. So the Speedo will not happen. Okay, I won't tell you. Sorry, there will be no Madness Speedo. Maybe a Madness bathing suit.
Next year in the Outer Banks, I'll get all the boys Madness.
Yeah. Maybe a Madness bathing suit might at one day, get on the shelf. But no Madness Speedo.
LOL.
I would like to gain followers, not lose them at this matter. And trust me, there's nothing. I don't even like to vision myself in a Speedo. I don't
like to vision anyone in a Speedo, and I had to actually look at it for a while, and it wasn't pleasant.
Interesting.
The denim Speedo was the worst.
Well, that's because there's people out there who wear those tight denim shorts, and it's like.
No, this was like an actual denim Speedo.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. I don't know how else to put it. It was difficult for me.
Godspeed. I'm sorry. Sorry for you.
I made it. I made it through.
You did.
It's fine. I had a lot of people actually on Twitter asking me. They were like, "But no pictures of Speedos, huh? We don't get to see Speedo week."
I mean, they were. No, you had a picture or two.
I don't think I put them on Twitter though. Of the Speedos.
Not on Twitter. It was. I believe it might have been an Insta.
Maybe an Insta.
And it wasn't like just a picture. It was like you and Joe were taking a nice picture.
Oh yeah, there's a nice picture of us.
But Joe is rocking the Speedo. So I mean, it is. It happens. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So before we move on.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll save this for my rant.
Oh, boy.
Because I don't have a Rob's rant at my disposal right now, so I'm trying to create one. Part of why I'm on Twitter right now. Like, I have something I could rant about, but I just don't want to take the show in that direction. Because,
don't do that.
No,
I know exactly what you're thinking.
No.
Nah.
Because I've ranted enough to other people about that over the last week, how angry I am.
Yeah, we can just keep this a happy show.
Yeah, I'd like to.
We'll just stay positive for now.
Let's stay positive. I lost my train of thought. I'm just going to say it right now. This lunch table thing that is attacking Twitter, I friggin' hate it.
Why? I think it's kind of funny.
Because
I don't know who creates it and what the pairings
Because
mean.
my issue is the pairings more than anything. Because every pairing is like, two great people and one person you hate.
Yeah,
I don't see one person I hate.
It makes you really have to analyze.
I'm gonna make my own damn table, and it's gonna be people I like.
Okay, well that's not fun in the game. That's just you
like
being
what was the one I saw? Is this the one
being a sore loser in the game?
Like the one I saw was like Brian Westbrook, Reggie White, and Nnamdi Asomugha. Are you kidding me? First of all, we all know Nnamdi wouldn't even go in the lunchroom because he doesn't eat with other people. He eats in his car. Okay. Secondly, he's the second most famous person in his relationship if he's still with.
Yes. I would love to sit down with
Wasserman.
Nnamdi Asomugha. I would love to know what goes into producing a Broadway show because that's what he's doing right now. He's producing a Broadway show that she's starring in. I would love to learn more.
He produced one. He produced a Broadway show on Broad Street.
Really?
Yeah, for the Philadelphia Eagles when he decided to pretend to play a cornerback.
See, I thought you meant like he actually did one, like on Broad Street, like the Walnut Street or something.
I was so excited when they signed him, and because of what he was, it depresses me to no end that I can never actually like him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I would love to. He's apparently a smart guy.
I wouldn't like the Broadway aspect. I'm a big Broadway fan.
Me too.
I've only seen like 3 shows, but I love them.
I'm a fan.
If I had more money,
love a good musical.
If I had more money, Like, I would be one of those people that the Forest Theater in Philly, like, I would have a yearly subscription so I can buy tickets to go see Hamilton there because I still haven't seen Hamilton.
I haven't either.
And I'm very upset about it. And
I want to take Joe to see The Lion King, like, so
I've
bad.
seen that, but I saw that in Philly.
I think I saw that in Philly, too.
And, like, at first I was like, I can't see Hamilton in Philly. I have to see it in New York. But now I'm like, if I can get tickets soon in Philly, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah, I want, because he's like, whatever.
Not a big fan?
Not a big fan, just kind of like, impartial, kind of. And I think that he would really enjoy The Lion King.
It's great show.
Great show, great movie.
Great.
Did you see the new one yet? Have you seen it?
No, because the new one came out right after Luca was born, and I haven't had a moment to go to the movies.
I have one problem with it that I'm going to bring up, and this is madness.
How you go ruin it for me?
It's not going to ruin it.
Better not.
It's phenomenal.
Because I'm going to go see it.
Go see it. I highly recommend it.
I have to go by myself.
There's only one problem I have with it, and it's subtle, but it's as a Disney person, it bothers me.
Well, Alyssa said since, we're limited on when we can go, we can't just go to any movie we want anymore.
Right.
So, that's my phone.
Making a lot of noise over there.
So she'd rather go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I'm hearing excellent reviews, and I do want to see that too. So I feel like it's going to have to be like a Wednesday morning prior to the show or Thursday when either my mom or my mother-in-law has the kids, where I kind of sneak my way to a movie.
Hilarious.
Probably the way it's going to be. That's how I saw Aladdin.
Yep. I still haven't seen that.
So, we'll see. So that was our pop culture segment of the show.
Yep.
Could be another one because, that we want to give you everything here, ladies and gentlemen. We want to give you a taste of our lives. And guess what? Disney movies
are a big part of me.
Did you see the new
Disney streaming service? My God.
Well, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know that they were partnering with Hulu and ESPN Plus.
Well, ESPN is owned by Disney.
Yes.
So that was I didn't know that was coming, but that's smart.
So here's, you know what? That's going to be my rant today.
Okay.
Because I'll rant about that because there's some couple things there that I'm very curious. And it's more going to be a rant of questions like that I have about all this stuff happening. So we'll get to that later. But do we want to go NFC South now and then do rants?
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do that.
All right. While we're preparing here, I'm going to pull up some. Got to have some music, I feel like, for this, right?
See, these are things that you need to have ready before we start recording.
But look, I got 6 computers here.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm trying to do a lot. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
What the hell's going on out here?
All right. I'm sorry.
Should be sorry.
Vince is mad at me.
So anyway, I'll just get started. Well, because you are the worst. So NFC South. If you are unaware of who is in the NFC South, that's your Falcons, Bucks, Saints, and Panthers. If you recall last year, this was the one we were like, oh my God, they're all gonna make the playoffs. That didn't happen.
God, we were stupid.
God, that didn't happen, and that's fine. But a couple interesting things here. So, for the Falcons, some people that they added Adrian Claiborne, Kenyon Barner, apparently. Awesome.
When that has to be a key addition, you didn't
he's
really
won a Super
add.
Bowl the last 2 years, technically. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. He played for the Patriots last year. He has a Super Bowl ring from last year. Yeah.
He went the reverse LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah. He lost Bruce Irvin, Tevin Coleman, Brian Poole, and then they drafted 2 offensive linemen and a running back. So nothing really very overly exciting in the draft.
Yeah.
But they're kind of where they are. Is Julio even there? What's going on with Julio?
Yeah, Julio's good to go. But you lose Bruce Irvin, you bring in Adrian Claiborne. But here's an issue for them. Okay, they've had to count on Tevin Coleman a lot the last couple years because of the injuries to Devontae Freeman. The guy just couldn't stay healthy. Like Devontae Freeman was a guy that when you drafted him in fantasy, you loved it but you also knew
you had to get a good backup.
He's going to get hurt, and you're going to be in trouble when that happens, right? You're telling me that I guess they like Ito. Is Ito Smith still there? I'm trying to think. I got to look at their roster. Some of their backup running backs. But if you're going to try and tell me that Kenyon Barner is going to become your new Tevin Coleman, I have to tell you you're sadly mistaken. That's not going to work. So, And I guess we're talking about Atlanta right now. Is that what we decided?
Yeah, because they're right there at the top.
Because they're right there at the top.
Yep.
All right. The one thing I want to look at is how this division broke down last year. Because I really don't remember.
The Saints won the division.
Yes.
If you couldn't recall that one.
Oh, I recall that one because I recall telling you how good the Saints were in the beginning of the year.
I also had the Saints winning the division.
I had the Saints going to the Super Bowl.
I did not have the Saints.
And I was damn close.
They also did not go to the Super Bowl.
I was a pass interference call away from going to the Super Bowl.
That sounds like a giant you problem.
All I know is I was damn close to having the exact Super Bowl picked.
But you didn't.
But I didn't.
And also, you had the Chargers going to the Super Bowl.
Tomato.
Yeah. Okay. So let's rewind and realize.
No. I had the Patriots. I had the
you?
Patriots playing the Chargers in the AFC Championship game.
Okay. You just started talking really fast.
I was big because I'm not right that often, Jess. So when I'm pretty close. I want to make sure it's known and out there to the public.
That is true.
All right. So your running backs right now are Devontae Freeman, Ito Smith, Brian Hill, Kenyon Barner. If Devontae Freeman gets hurt, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a major issue if he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Now, that's an issue. But when you look at their wide receivers, that's not an issue. Right? You go Mohamed Sanu, Calvin Ridley. I'm not even mentioning Julio, but Julio. You got three pretty good ones right there. And you have Matt Ryan, who I know you hate.
I do hate Matt Ryan.
But not his game. You just hate the man.
No, I hate everything about him.
Because he went to a school that she doesn't like.
No, it was my rival high school. It is the longest standing high school rivalry in the country. This is serious. This isn't like just like, ooh, it's a team I don't like. No, this is serious. No. You know who else went there? Mike McGlinchey, the right tackle for the whatchamacallits. You know who else went there? Daryl Worley.
Okay. All right. You're just
jackass.
Why are you just yelling at me?
I'm not yelling at you. I'm just yelling about him.
He's still on the Eagles. They re-signed him, didn't they?
What?
Not Daryl Worley.
Yeah, I was going to say, he didn't even make it to camp because remember he got arrested right outside of 95 in his car?
I'm thinking of who got injured, the linebacker.
Paul Warlow.
Warlow.
Go Hens!
Didn't they re-sign him?
Yes, he is still here, but he was not who I was just talking about.
Is he even on the team?
Yes.
Because I haven't seen him or heard anything.
He's there.
He might have to play.
Go Hens! I know.
So last year the Falcons, where did they end up? 7-9?
Yeah.
7-9. It was a weird season for them, right? Coming off of the Super Bowl devastation, but as we all know,
they were 2 years removed from that.
2 years removed from that, but
they had another form of devastation. It just wasn't the same.
Yeah, it's very fair. But it was a weird year for them.
It was.
Because I expected more out of that team, and no, it just didn't happen. 7-9, and this year, now unlike you, Jess, I don't look at the schedule ahead of time, so I don't really know what their schedule looks like. But I feel like they're better than 7-9, and I just look, they have too much talent on the offensive side of the ball. Is the defense getting better? I don't know, but when they play at home, they're tough to beat, and they're not going to lose every road game. You know what I mean? I refuse to say that. I see them getting it back up. I'm going to go with them at 9-7 this year.
I have them at 9-7 as well.
I like 9-7 for the Atlanta Falcons on the year. We'll see how the defense goes. I mean, they still have some talent on that defensive line. Claiborne comes in. They have Grady Jarrett. I love Deion Jones, the linebacker. We'll see. I mean, I don't think they're a tremendous team, but I think they're better. I think their team is going to be competitive.
Their schedule's not too bad based on where they finished last year. I mean, they play. They play the Vikings. They play us, which but they play the Titans. They play the Cardinals. They play the Panthers twice. I don't really think the Panthers are going to be that great. They play the Bucks twice. The Bucks are not going to be that great. They play the Niners. They play the Jags.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of games in there that they could win, and they've got a couple of the other ones that could be a little bit more interesting. I mean, they play
Week 2, Philly goes there? Is that what it is?
Yeah. They play. So, they play the Rams, but they play them they play them at home. Hard place to play in a dome. So, there are a couple in there that could go. I mean, I think even with the Eagles, the game against the Eagles, I think could go either way based on the fact that they're playing at home.
Oh, absolutely. They can win that game.
Yeah. So, I think there's a couple in there that they are definitely going to win. And I think there's a couple that really could steer them either way.
Oh, without a doubt. So I guess we're both on the same thing. 9-7, probably looking in that second place, maybe third place.
Yeah, I think they'll be in second place.
Right around there. So now we'll move on to the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers also finished 7-9 last year. Cam Newton was banged up most of the year with that shoulder injury. And I know that he liked to talk about routes a lot a couple years ago. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I love pissing you off.
Literally, there was a video of him talking to some kid at camp, and someone tweeted the video and was like, I can't understand why people hate on Cam Newton. He's such a good guy. And I'm like, because he's a jackass who doesn't respect women.
Why is he a good guy? Because he gives a football to people every time he gets
football. He's a jackass who doesn't respect women. He has 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Riddle me that.
I mean, come on, guys. Get over it.
Can't stand him.
Yeah. Hey. But I look at this team. They've gotten better defensively. You bring in guys like Gerald McCoy and Bruce Irvin. I know Bruce Irvin's older, but you've added 2 pretty good players there. You bring in Chris Hogan to be your middle of the field threat. I mean, the issue, though, is will he be a threat with anyone other than Tom Brady throwing to him? Yeah, you don't know. You don't know that. You have DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel, who you're waiting.
And Torrey Smith.
But really, Curtis Samuel, you're waiting to see these guys take a step. But the other thing is they've shored up the offensive line a little bit. They bring in a new center. They sign what's his name? Why am I drawing a blank here? I'm drawing a blank. Can't figure it out.
Wait, what?
Left tackle. Greg Little. Yeah. Or they drafted Greg Little.
They drafted Greg
Little. All right, so there's a guy that they'll build. He may not start right away, but he's a guy that's going to play. Look, the Carolina is a team every year that I just can't ever put my finger on. Like, Christian McCaffrey is going to be one of the best backs in the league. Hands down. The guy just can do it all.
And he's gotten huge. Have you seen him?
I mean, he's
enormous.
Like, in my opinion, he's a top 5 fantasy pick this year. Yeah. Because I just think he's going to have enormous
I've had him the last couple years. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, he's going to have enormous stats this year. God, I don't know. Are they a 9-7 team too? I mean,
no. I think they're still a 7-9 team, quite honestly. I do.
Yeah, I don't think they're that bad. And my guess is because they had a 7-9 record last year, that it's not like their schedule's going to be, brain buster.
I mean,
I think
they
there's
play a lot of the same teams.
Yeah.
So they play. I mean, they open against the Rams. They play the
Tough
Rams.
Start.
They play the Rams. They play the Bucks twice. Obviously, they play the Cardinals, but they also still play the Texans. They play the Niners, who are going to be better this year than they were as long as Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy. They play the Packers, who we've talked about are going to be better. They play the Falcons twice. They play the Saints twice. They play the Seahawks. They play the Colts. I mean, they're going to beat the Redskins. They'll beat the Titans. They'll probably beat the Jags. They'll beat the Cardinals. But other than that, they'll beat the Bucks once or twice. But they gotta make some other things happen to be able to get further.
I mean, your point's fair. I just like being different from you.
That's fine.
I'm gonna give them a 9-7 as well. I like the 9-7 number. It's a safe number. Safe number for me. Do you want to talk about the Saints or the Bucks?
Let's go Bucks.
All right, so I gotta shift my notes here. Thank you again, Jess, for the notes.
Of course. So I mean, with the Bucks, they added Ndamukong Suh. He didn't really do much last year for the Rams.
Which is why he was out there for so long.
And because no one wants to deal with his BS.
Yeah.
I mean, they add Brashad Perryman, not great. They added.
I didn't even know he was still in the league.
They added Blaine Gabbert, also not great, and they lost Gerald McCoy and Quan Alexander. I mean, they drafted Devin White, but other than that, you got Jameis in a contract year. Jameis has never been really that great. Jameis isn't really going to show you much. What do you really have at a run game? Yeah, you've got some threats to catch the ball, but if you got this jackass throwing to him, you don't know.
Here's where
defense not good.
What was their? I'm sorry, I took their record off. What were they last year?
I don't remember.
wait a minute, I got it right here. They were 5-11. Here's the thing, okay? And this is where, look, Jameis is never going to be this tremendous quarterback. Does he have talent? Yes. He's not. He's also never going to be this bad quarterback. He's going to be kind of an in the middle, some really good games, some not so good games.
Well, you have to keep in mind several of those wins last year, like the majority of the 5 wins they had did not go to Jameis Winston.
No, but keep in mind, last year was a perfect storm of poop. Okay, because I don't want to say the other word. Meaning, Dirk Cutter was dead man walking from game 1.
Sure.
So that plays in there. I mean, the fact of the matter is you still have Mike Evans on this team. Okay? Good receiver. Great receiver. You have Chris Godwin, who's now another year older, the kid from Penn State, who I think is another very good receiver. Cameron Brate turned into a pretty good tight end last year. So there's offensive weapons there. And then when you look at the running back situation, it's Peyton Barber, Ronald Jones, where you going? I don't know, but there's guys that can get they can get the job done. Here's the biggest difference: Bruce Arians is in the building, and Bruce Arians is known for, at the beginning of his coaching tenures, turning programs around and coaching well. And not only that, he brings in a guy who may not have been a great head coach, but was a tremendous defensive coordinator for Bruce Arians in Arizona, and that's Todd Bowles. Mm-hmm. And you give Todd Bowles guys like Devin White, okay, young guys like him, guys like Deion Buchanan. Even 2 years ago, picked Vita Vea.
He got hurt again.
Is he bad?
Yeah, he got hurt again. He got carted off yesterday.
So okay. So we'll see there. But you have Vernon Hargreaves. I expect this team to be much better. I don't expect this team to be knocking down the doors of the division. But 5-11 is way too light for them. And I'm going to give them 8 wins this year. I think he gets them back to 8-8. I think that they surprise some people this year.
Okay. I'm going 6-10. I mean, so again, you don't look at these schedules. I mean,
they were 5-11 last year. How good can it be?
They play the Rams. They play the Saints twice. They play the Panthers twice. They play the Falcons twice.
They give the Saints problems
their
all the time.
own division is enough to make me say, no, they're not going to go
all fair,
8-8.
But they have given the Saints issues in the past. They always give the Panthers issues.
Sure, it's a divisional thing, but at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to come out on top of,
No, but I think they could. I think
maybe
they could
win one.
I think they could win one against Carolina.
Okay, they play the Seahawks in Seattle.
Yeah, that one will be tough.
They play the Colts. They play the Texans. So Texans, Colts. What else did I say? Texans, Colts, Saints twice, Falcons twice, Panthers twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then they play the Rams.
How many games? That's all their games?
No, but that's all their difficult games. That's 9 right there.
So there's 7 other games.
Yeah, so I'm giving them 6-10 because I don't think Jameis is good enough. And then what are they going to do? Turn to Blaine Gabbert for Blaine Gabbert
No,
magic?
but I think that they can win one against Carolina. I think they can win one against Atlanta. And to be honest, I don't know what it is when they play New Orleans. They give New Orleans fits.
It's a divisional game.
Yeah, but there's a difference between a divisional game and giving them fits. Oh, I mean, Jesus, they went into New Orleans last year and blew their doors off in game 1, if you remember correctly. When Fitzmagic was Fitzmagic.
Didn't they still lose that game, though?
No, they won that game.
I think so.
I thought they put up like 50 points against them.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Saints put up the same amount. I'm fairly positive. I don't remember, though.
You actually
I'm
might be you, I believe, are right on this one, now that I'm thinking it a little bit closer. Yeah, I'm giving them 8-8.
Okay.
No, wait. Because they beat the Eagles next week. The following week, Tampa beat Philadelphia. And I thought that sent them to 2-0. And the talk was all about Fitzmagic. But I could be wrong.
I'm being honest with you. I don't remember, and I'm trying to find it.
So we're just going
to... No, you start.
Hold, please.
You move on to the Saints, and I'll find this.
I don't believe you. That's why I want to... All right,
no,
we'll move on to
They did win. So, but they didn't blow their doors off. It was 48-40.
Okay. All right.
So they didn't. But
They won in New Orleans. Put up 48 points against New Orleans. All right, Saints were 13-3 last year, including that loss right there to Tampa Bay. They were 13-3. They were just trailblazers all year. You know, went to the NFC title game, had the game at home, had the game won before it was taken from them. And Jesus,
and
their
then
fans,
they messed it up again for themselves. So
yeah, and their fans won't let you forget about it with the nonsense. How about Roger Goodell having to go to court over this crap? So stupid.
bunch of babies.
So stupid. But key additions on the year, they bring in Jared Cook, Mario Edwards, and Latavius Murray. Jared Cook giving them their best tight end threat probably since they lost Jimmy Graham. And as well as running back Buck Allen from Baltimore and offensive lineman Nick Eason. They lose Max Unger. They lose Alex Okafor and obviously Mark Ingram. I guess Latavius Murray is going to take that Mark Ingram role. But what it is basically saying Alvin Kamara is our number one. Now we have a legitimate backup, not a guy that we need to worry about splitting carries with in a sense.
Yeah.
And then they drafted an offensive line, Eric McCoy, safety, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who's a chance to be really good, and another tight end, and I'm going to say Alize Mack. So, look, the Saints were really good last year. The Saints are going to be really good again this year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. The only thing that there's two things that derail them. The one that could derail everyone, injuries.
Yeah.
Injuries can derail a team. And does Drew Brees, a year older, lose a little bit? I don't think he does.
I don't see it.
I mean, the guy is just, he's a gamer, man. He's just a gamer. They give Michael Thomas his money. He's happy. The offense is going to be electric as it's been the last couple of years. And the defense is going to be, when you get New Orleans out of the dome, they become much beatable because their defense seems to struggle. But they're going to probably win all 8, if not 8, 7 games at home. So, I mean, that means even if they only won 4 games on the road, they're going to be 11-5. And that's the record I'm going to give them. I don't think they're going to be 13-3. I think teams will game plan for them a little bit better based off of what they saw last year. I do think losing Mark Ingram hurts them because I think Mark Ingram provided them a big punch up the middle. Obviously, Alvin Kamara is an absolute freaking stud. Another guy, him and Christian McCaffrey are 2 guys that are going to be top 5 picks in fantasy football drafts, no doubt about it. But I'll give them an 11-5 record. They win the division. And actually, I'm not really sure what I did with it, but I think they'll be one of the teams to get a first-round bye in the playoffs for the NFC.
Yeah, I have them at 11-5 as well. You know, they just have so much firepower. Before I continue with that, though, I would like to point out about the Bucks before I forget from last season. Yes, they beat the Saints week 1 and they beat the Eagles week 2, but then from there they lost to the Steelers, Bears, Falcons. They also lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. They got blown away by the Carolina Panthers. They got smoked by the Washington Redskins. They lost to the New York Giants. And they then lost to the Saints, lost to the Ravens, lost to the Cowboys, and then once again lost to the Falcons. So they got smoked by the Panthers, lost to the Giants, and got smoked by the Redskins last year, all with Jameis Winston playing. I hold firm at 6-10, and I'm with you at 11-5.
FYI, you're going to have to strip the audio from our YouTube.
Okay.
Because it's just stopped at about the 42-minute mark, and we're at about the 60-minute mark now.
Fab.
So if you could strip that audio and send it to me later, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, we'll do.
Because I can't even pick it back up. I don't even know where it went.
Awesome. Okay. So anyway, yeah.
All right, so we at least have the same order of division.
No. So okay, so who do you have in second then?
I still have
Falcons or
Atlanta. I
Panthers?
still have Atlanta in second.
Then yes.
It's the same order, just a couple different records.
But again, not far off.
No.
2 games here and there.
Yeah, exactly. So there it is, Jess.
We're both just so smart.
There is the NFC South. Guys, just start putting your money down now on those predictions because they will absolutely be 100% correct.
Yep.
When it comes time to check us in January.
Definitely.
All right, so as we move on to our next segment, it's time for the ranting and raving, rants and tirades. Jess, you are the most wonderful ranter and tirader of all time, and you're also the lady of the staff, and I'm a gentleman. Ladies first, Jess. Here's Town's tirade for everybody.
I have to remember what mine was.
Jesus God almighty.
What was it?
Even know what to say to you anymore.
Okay, it's not really like that serious of a rant, but that's what I'm frustrated about today.
Okay.
So this morning, so as you know, Joseph and I moved to an apartment about a month and a half ago-ish. And why did this get so... Look like I'm aggressively...
I was like, please tell me YouTube's not breaking now too. This is the only audio we have.
Well, I'm recording it on here too, so it's fine. But anyway, so we had to set up our own electric account. Like, that's not included in the rent, which is fine, whatever. But we didn't have to set up a water account. It's not included in our rent, but it comes through our apartment complex. So we get it from our landlord, like our rent payment.
So he gets the bill and then sends it out to you guys.
Yeah, so and we can do it online. So we can pay our rent, water online. Yeah, it's fine. So we only had to set up our cable and our electric. Everything else is through our apartment. Fine. So we set up our Pico. Everything's good, wonderful. I pay that bill this
Very
month.
nice that he get. Do you pay the water or he just...
Oh, no, we pay it.
Oh, okay.
We just didn't have to set up our own account. Like,
Fair.
it just comes through it's all in one spot for our rent and water.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So I go to pay our rent. Actually, I almost forgot to pay our rent on the first, but my brother, I walked into the Avalon house and he was wearing a shirt that said rent's due. And I was like, oh my God.
That's exactly why he bought it.
And I went and paid the rent, but it was our rent, and it's $850 for, it's like pest control and two other things. Like, it's like two other things. Trash, sewer, and pest control is $8 a month.
Okay.
Or $850 a month. So that just goes right in. So that was there. So it was my rent and plus the $8. So I'm like, that's weird. There's no like water bill on here. This is literally only rent plus $8. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm sure it's fine. No big deal. Well, when we got back from the beach on Monday, I checked our mail and there was nothing in there because I was thinking, oh, maybe, like, I hope it's not late and it was in our mailbox and we didn't pay it on time or something. Like, I was panicking while we were away. And I said to Joe, I was like, I wonder where it comes in because, they told us it's obviously through them. We didn't have to set up a water account. We've had water this whole time.
Right. I
don't know how to pay this bill. Like, it's nowhere. So the water's still on. We get back. I don't think anything of it. And I'm like, okay, I'm sure it'll appear somewhere, whatever. Well, this morning, Joe had to get up to be somewhere, and I was still asleep. He gets up, leaves, comes back in, and shakes me awake and goes, Jess, there's no water. And I was like, what do you mean there's no water? And he was like, you have to figure out where that bill was or how to pay that bill because we have no water. So I'm like, ugh. So it's like 7 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, now what? So we're like digging out the Brita, finding water bottles where we can, like going to the car to find water bottles to just like brush our teeth. So we're like, okay, like there's seriously no water. So he's like, you have to handle this, like figure this out. There was a water main break in our complex, but no one said anything to anybody until 8:30 when people went into the office. Like, people had to be getting phone calls. Like, so everybody trying to get up and get to work is like panicking that they didn't pay their water bill. And so meanwhile, we don't get an email until literally 8:20. That's like, there was a water main break. Water, you don't have water until we tell you have water. So I'm like, awesome. So meanwhile, then I go to the office anyway, and I'm like, hey, how do we pay our water bill? And they're like, oh, it comes through your rent. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No.
I'm confused. It doesn't. But anyway, I guess like the payment period stopped on, it was like they sent the bills out on the 24th of the month or something. So by the time they sent it out for,
you guys weren't in there yet.
We weren't there yet. So we won't get it until like the August one. So I was like, all right, I'm just trying to make sure our water doesn't actually get shut off, but we don't have water. And I got an email when I was pulling in here that said, we pinpointed the problem. Hopefully we have it fixed soon. There's like a huge hole at the entrance of our apartment complex. I'm just praying we have water. That's my rant. I'm just upset that we don't have water. It's really difficult. And I'm like, how am I supposed to like do anything? Like literally anything.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
That's without
So
a
I
doubt
said to
frustrating.
Joe, he was going down to Rob's on South Street, and I literally was like, could you stop at Wawa and get like 6 gallons of water for us, please? Because like we had been using the Brita, so I'm like,
Yeah.
we're out of water. He was like, well, do we have wine? I was like, yeah, but like
We can brush your
need
teeth with the
water.
wine, Joe.
We need water.
Come on, Joe.
He was like, well, we have juice. I'm like, dude, we need water. Like, get me water, please. So yeah, we have no water currently. And my dad was like, go to our house. And I was like, well, I'm not going to drive 45 minutes out there right now.
No, not going to happen.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm hoping it comes back on tonight. If it doesn't.
So did you brush your teeth?
I
Joe?
did with a water bottle. Just a little water bottle.
Just making sure.
So I'm like, if it doesn't come on tonight, I guess I'm going to mom and
I was
dad's.
gonna say you're making that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
That was like,
I mean, luckily we're going back down to the beach tomorrow.
right.
But still, like, we have
yeah.
to shower at some point in there.
That was like, remember when
Oh,
I might have
yeah.
missed the show because the water
Yeah.
got turned off and we had no idea. It was like, oh, cool, guys. Thanks. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I know how frustrating that
It
can
was
be.
difficult. And I'm like, I have stuff to make fish tacos for dinner tonight. And I'm like, I can't not be able to wash off the pots and pans that have fish in them.
I mean, you probably want to wash the fish off a little bit now.
Well, yeah, that too. That too. I'm more worried about like my apartment smelling like fish than anything else.
Totally a fair point.
But yeah, definitely. Yeah, have to wash the fish off, wash out the pots and pans. Stuff gets sticky. I made quiche because I was bored, and I was like, I'm gonna make some quiche. And then I was like, I like made the pastry, and I was like, oh my god, now what? So I had it all over I had like butter and flour all over my hands, and I was like, literally, what do I do now? I use Clorox wipes. That's my story. But yeah, it's really super inconvenient. It's one of those things that you're like, wow, you don't realize how many times a day you turn a sink on until you turn it on and nothing comes out.
Yes. Yes.
It's a shame.
It's a frustrating thing.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I go home, turn the sink on, and there's water, but I don't expect there to be.
Oh, yeah.
But at least they pinpointed the problem. I haven't gotten any other emails yet, so I'm assuming there's still a giant hole at the beginning, at the entrance of our apartment complex.
It's going to be interesting for you.
229.
I'm looking forward to seeing
We
how
believe we
that
have
plays for
located
you.
the issue. Fantastic.
Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out for you.
My grandma just said, go cook at your mom's. That's far away.
It's a good move. Go cook at the mom's.
She's there.
At your mom's?
Yeah.
That's why she wants you to go cook there.
I'll see you tomorrow probably if this doesn't get fixed, I'll be over there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So my rant
I'm excited.
is not even like an angry rant. There's going to be a little anger because I know what is going to happen when I do what I'm going to talk about doing. So
Oh boy.
obviously, streaming services are becoming big. It broke a few months ago that Disney was going to be pulling all of their stuff off of Netflix by November to start their own streaming service. But what was not really released until, I guess, today or yesterday, somewhere in the last couple of days, was that Disney, along with their company ESPN, and now Hulu, are going to kind of join as one, and you're going to pay $13 a month to have access to all 3 streaming services, which is really good when you think about you're probably paying the same amount for a Netflix and for an Amazon Prime and things of that nature. So it's created a quandary in my mind. I literally just...
Quandary, good word.
I like that.
Sorry.
I've been trying to get a good word out like all day, and I can't come up with them, but that one was there.
That was a good one.
That one was there.
I like that. That was good.
So I'm getting a little, because I sit here now and I go, okay, I love streaming television. I watch Amazon Prime TV. I watch Netflix television. I basically have stolen my parents' Amazon Prime and used theirs. It's not even my own. And I pay for Netflix. So then I go, okay, well, I obviously am going to get this Disney plus
Obviously.
ESPN plus Hulu. And then I say, but wait a minute. I'm still paying a cable bill. And then I say to myself, well, I can't get rid of my cable fully. 1, my internet is through my cable. Okay. 2, I still get the sports packages and everything, which I know that Hulu has live sports, but I don't really understand if
Are you
Hulu
sure? You haven't
actually
learned
does
that yet?
live sports. Like, I don't know if they have
do.
live
Like, you
NFL
can,
games.
Yeah, like that hasn't been up for NFL
Yeah.
yet, but like you can literally go on Hulu. Do you have Hulu now?
No.
Okay, so my brother has Hulu, and I've just recently stolen his password.
Okay.
And
I'm going to steal too. Thank you, Andrew.
yeah, so I went on yesterday, and I mean, any live sporting event that was on, you could literally watch through there. So like any of the World Cup games, they were
Right.
on there because you could
Okay.
only watch those through Fox. And
So then
they
the
were on
question is, do you
Hulu.
get every NFL game or you only get the ones in your region?
I have no idea.
Because it's streaming internet television. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I say to myself, okay, so I'm going to call Comcast, right? And we've always complained about how high our bill is, but it's been because of me, because of the movie channels and all that stuff. So if I get rid of all the movie channels, but then I lose any of the HBO series I watch, because they're not on Hulu and all them, because HBO has its own streaming service. Correct?
No, you can watch the HBO stuff on Hulu.
And I think you watch it on Amazon Prime, actually. Now
You can watch it on Hulu. Or no.
But you can't watch it.
No, you can't. I'm sorry. I was thinking
I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime, but you can't watch it live. So you have to wait until it loads into it. So
Gotcha.
Now, granted, since most of TV is going that way, like my call to Comcast, what I want is, listen, I want to lower my bill. What if I got rid of all the movie channels, HBO, Stars, all them? How would that? And I know what they're going to say. Well, actually, it's not that much cheaper because they're part of your package that we gave you. No. If I'm deleting channels from my cable, and I'm really only going to use yours for, the news channels, my local channels, and the sports channels, I should not be paying over $200 a month of cable.
How many cable boxes do you have?
See, that pisses me off too. We have 4, although we're not even using one. But my plan is when I get the bar set up to have my second TV in the basement ready to rock and roll with that cable box. So
all you need is a laptop and an HDMI cord.
For what?
And have one cable box. That's what we have. We have one cable box and 2 TVs.
How?
All you gotta do is log in your Xfinity account. You can watch any Xfinity channel from anywhere. You can stream it on your computer. So we only have one cable box, and we don't have all the movie channels and stuff. And we don't even have we don't have
So you plug your computer in, you get an HDMI cord that will plug from a computer to the TV.
Yep, and it just projects it onto the TV. So literally, the last.
By project, I have to have it like a projector?
No, it just literally puts it on the TV.
Okay.
So literally, the last couple nights, obviously the Phillies have gone late. We've gotten tired, been half asleep on the couch. So turn it off out there, go in, log on your Xfinity account, put it right on the TV, done. Now it's there's a little bit of a delay. So if I were to go on Twitter, I would see things before they happen.
Yes.
But we don't have any of the movie channels. We don't get country music, television. We don't get half of that stuff.
Right.
And we watch, and all the sports channels obviously watch it. We haven't set up Red Zone yet. We're going to call and do that a week before the season starts and then cancel it right after because it's $10 for, a month. But because we have a smart TV, so we watch Netflix more often than not.
Yeah.
And then with we have his Xbox, so we can just go on the internet and get on Hulu or whatever from there. And it's so much easier because it's the same thing. If we have Netflix or whatever, the same thing. You plug it into the TV and you're just watching whatever. I had literally when I moved back home to my parents' house from college, I had my TV and I didn't have cable upstairs in my room, and I literally just would plug my laptop in and put in one of these Johns, the Bluetooth mouse.
Okay.
So you have it plugged in next to the TV. You have the mouse next to your bed, so you can just click around all you need to. Done. Simple.
And that's what
it saves money, so you don't have those extra cable
and
boxes.
my quandary though is I'm going to be paying for Netflix and the Disney one. I haven't gone over this with Alyssa yet, but we are going to get it. I don't pay for Amazon Prime. My dad just lets me use it. I'm going to continue to just use theirs. Eventually, I feel like they're going to tell you can't do this anymore.
So honestly,
but I don't know if they can.
At that point, I might not pay for Netflix anymore because if it's Hulu. Because here's the thing. The only things that on Netflix that I watch that are solely Netflix, Orange is the New Black, and that's about to end.
Yeah.
So, done.
But I do watch some Netflix series. That's my problem.
Big Mouth is the only other one I love.
Love Big Mouth.
I'll tell you a funny story about that. I'm not going to tell that on.
No,
I'm not telling
that show should actually never be discussed on air.
No, it's a phenomenal show.
It's
a phenomenal show.
Friggin-tastic.
If you haven't watched Big Mouth, please go watch it.
And I haven't even watched the whole show yet.
You will laugh your ass off.
I've just watched part of I think half the first season, but I literally laugh my ass off every time I watch it.
Phenomenal. But those are the only two things I watch that are Netflix series. I don't watch anything else that's a Netflix series.
You bring up a good point. I should probably go on and see if the shows I'm watching are actually Netflix series. And that's the only way
Netflix is going to be able to keep themselves up is if they keep creating shows like that people look forward to when they
because then I think about it, I'm like, oh, well, I watch Peaky Blinders, but that's not a Netflix show.
Right. Like we watch Scandal. Like we watch Scandal back through.
Yeah.
They're going to take Friends off. They're going to take The Office off.
Yeah. What we've been doing, so for the last month.
Drake and Josh is on Hulu. Found that out the other day. How I Met Your Mother.
That's your age group, Drake and Josh.
How I Met Your Mother's on there. Love South Park's on there.
Wow.
Love South Park.
Because
Family Guy, because they took Family Guy off Netflix. That's on.
So so for the last month, Alyssa and I, the girls have gone to bed, and we've been watching. It's a TNT show, but it's on Amazon Prime. Animal Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
We've gotten hooked. Like it's really, really good. But then when she goes to bed, I've watched Luther, which is on Amazon Prime, but it's a BBC show. Sneaky Pete, which was Amazon Prime. And now I'm watching the new superhero show called The Boys, which gives you like the superheroes are corrupt. Really cool premise. Strange show, but cool. But all that's on Amazon Prime. So you're right. Like I think back now and I go, do I get rid of Netflix?
So, but also Netflix is raising their prices, and all of these other, they're losing out on all of these other things because all these other places are creating their own streaming services. So they're going to lose all of their stuff that isn't theirs that they created. So think about it. Disney's probably going to take all their stuff off.
Disney already is. That's already been established.
All the Disney movies, they're going to be on the Disney.
I was going to say right now when we go to Netflix, most of the time it's for the girls. It's to put on a Disney movie or the stupid ass show Mother Goose Club that they like, which isn't a Netflix original. It's dumb. But yeah, you know what? I think my rant has made me realize that I'm going to get rid of Netflix.
Did you watch any of the Marvel Netflix shows?
I didn't, and which is weird because I love the Marvel movies, right?
I've only seen one. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I love the Marvel movies, but I've never watched the Netflix Marvel shows, and I have heard they're tremendous.
What is the one?
There's
oh my God,
there's a bunch of them.
It's escaping me.
They've done so many now.
It starts with a. I almost just said a bad word.
There's the Cage one. There's the Luke Cage one.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Which I heard was good. But I've never watched them. And part of it is during the year there's sports on this. So like this is the first time. The last 2 months is the first time in a long time where I've said I'm dedicating my nights to watching shows. So what I've typically done is if the Phillies start at 7, I watch them till the girls go to bed, and then I start watching shows, and I'm normally back in time to catch the end of the Phillies game. I've made mention to you. I don't really watch 9 full innings in a row of baseball. I just until it really means something, I just don't do that.
Right.
It's not like when the Sixers are on and I'm watching every game, every minute, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So I was thinking about this the other day, and Joe and I we talked about this a couple times when we were deciding what to do, what cable package to get, and things like that. We were thinking about potentially just getting a router and only doing streaming services, but then we realized that we weren't totally sure. Like, we didn't want to have to pay. The sports
thing is the big thing for me for not getting cable.
We didn't want to have to pay for ESPN Plus and something else, like, and YouTube or like whatever it is. So the fact that they are combining with Hulu and it's going to be all...
it shows you? It shows you that Disney company is one of the smartest companies out there.
They're so smart.
They just do things. And, yeah, look, they realize that they're going to make millions off of this.
I will buy it immediately.
I mean, and
$12.99 for all 3 of those too is not that bad, especially because Netflix is increasing their prices. I'm paying $11.99 now, and it's going to go to $15.99 soon. So if I'm going to pay for $12.99 and get every Disney movie that I want to watch and every Disney movie or show that's ever been made that I want to watch,
it's true.
Sign me up for $12.99 for just that. And then you give me Hulu with all that stuff that I was talking about before and more.
The fact that Disney now has Marvel, which means if you're a Marvel fan like I am, every Marvel movie is going to be on there.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that's very interesting to me, right? Disney bought Marvel obviously way after, but Islands of Adventure is still Marvel themed, but it's a Universal Studios theme park. Very interesting to me how they do that.
I've only been there once, and I was impressed with how well done that Universal Park is.
That Islands of Adventure, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's so good.
I mean, all 4, so they have the 4, now it's 5 because they have the Harry Potter world now in the back. And once again, Universal's a place. Alyssa's always said to me, why don't we just go down and go to Universal? And I'm like, I would love it because I love that theme park. But it's weird for me. I feel like I'm cheating on Disney if I don't.
I just don't like rides, so it's a waste of money.
See, I love rides.
It's a waste of money. I don't like
guy.
They scare me. I get nervous and I cry.
The Madness does it. There it is, baby. We are going to live stream the Madness doing an amusement park. One year when me and Jess are best friends, and Jess and Joe and me and Alyssa, we're all going to go to Disney together, and I'm going to stream us on a roller coaster that I'm going to make Jess do
Fun
for the
fact,
show.
I've been on the Rock and Roller Coaster 3 times. I've never seen the inside. I've had my eyes closed the entire time. I've never seen the inside of the Rock and Roller
You've never
Coaster.
actually seen the ride then because it's all inside.
Yeah. I've never seen the Rock. I've been on it.
And there it is.
Never seen it.
I'm going to stream it when we do a roller coaster together, Jess.
I cry. I absolutely cry. I can't go on. So a ticket to Universal is because I don't like Harry Potter. I'm not written I'm just.
The rides are exceptional.
I've never gotten into Harry Potter,
ones.
but
I did watch all the movies. I'm a nerd.
I've never gotten into them. I tried to read the books. I tried to watch the movies. They weren't for me. I don't love that kind of stuff, which we talked about with like Game of Thrones and stuff. I don't love it.
Ironically, I watched all the movies at a time where I was really sad and lonely, and I just watched Harry Potter.
Well, there's something about Rob you didn't know. But I just don't like rides. So a ticket to Universal for that price is just a complete waste of money on me.
Oh, for you, yeah. If you don't like rides, but if you're a ride person, Universal's outrageous. And just honestly, the scenery now, the way that they've just done it all up is fantastic.
I was there a couple years ago. I was there with Joe's family, and I felt so guilty that his mom bought me the ticket to Universal because I was like, this is a giant, colossal waste of money.
Man, my rant really took us to a whole nother level.
It took us to a whole nother level.
And it's 4:20, and we haven't talked about the Eagles yet.
It's all right. We can start now.
Oh, man.
It's all right. We got some activity here with people engaging.
Yeah, they are engaging us. Yeah. Well,
anyway.
That really escalated there. So
in short, Disney is smarter than everyone combined.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Disney smarter than everyone combined.
Can't wait to go.
When are you going?
December. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. We're going to Italy a couple weeks before that too. It's going to be
Italy to Disney. And I thought it was going to be really cool to just go down to Miami for the Eagles game.
I'm not going to even watch that game. I'll be on a plane. We'll land in time to see the end. I'm going to miss it, though. I'm sad.
Well,
if we get these streaming services going.
And you never know. Although,
you can't really.
The internet on a plane is another thing to rant about. It's the worst thing in the world.
That's a whole separate issue.
We have it online. No, you don't. All right. Time to talk about the Eagles.
And here we go.
That's right. The season is upon us. It is official. The Eagles will open up Thursday night against the Tennessee Titans in the preseason. As of the recording of this podcast, Doug Peterson has yet to say who will play, who will not play, sort of thing. He's said in his press conference yesterday they're kind of weighing some options. My guess is you'll see some guys play maybe a series, other guys not play at all. I would be astonished if Carson Wentz is in uniform.
I think they should just wait till the next game.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to play. But, I wouldn't be surprised some other guys maybe take a series just to get out there and run around.
We're going to see a lot of Andre Dillard. That's something we will see.
You'll see a lot of Andre Dillard.
Vitai's going to be at right guard.
Vitai's going to be in there. You're going to see Miles Sanders play. I wouldn't expect to see the Jordan Howards, the Jason Peters, the Lane Johnson.
Jason Peters we will not see in one preseason game.
You'll see Wisniewski, I think, because he's kind of your backup guard right now.
Yep.
So you'll have him and Vaitai. You'll have Dillard and Sayamalo maybe.
Yeah, but who's going to be playing center then?
Wisniewski could be the center, actually, and they could move Sayamalo and Vaitai into the guards. And then you go Dillard and another guy running.
Or they'd put Matt Pryor in there at a guard and put Vaitai on the right side.
Yeah, a lot of things that can happen.
If none of them are going to play.
I think you're going to see 2, maybe 3/4 of Nate Sudfeld, because I think they really want to see what they have in him.
Yeah.
Then, Cody Kessler and Clayton Thorson.
I don't even know if we're going to see Clayton Thorson tomorrow. I don't think they want to admit that problem just yet. Fully.
I think you're going to see Arcega-Whiteside, which will be fun to watch. I think you're going to see a lot of him because I don't think you'll see Aguilar, Deshaun, or Alshon. I don't think all 3 of them will play. So you're probably looking at, which will be fun from the wide receiver standpoint because obviously there's going to be a competition there. So you're going to see Mac Hollins, Arcega-Whiteside, your favorite boy, Shelton Gibson. You're going to see the 6'4" guy. You're going to see the guy that me and you commented on when we went to the practice.
It was enormous.
How big he was. And apparently he's had a decent camp. Ray Dininger brought him up the other day. So you're going to see that battle unfold. You're going to obviously see the running back battle. I'm curious, if Corey Clement is playing tomorrow, that's going to say a lot of whether or not he's a given on this team.
Well, keep in mind, we also don't know how healthy he is.
But you're going to
That's a
see.
whole other, because we still don't know what his injury was.
True. You're going to see Sanders, Smallwood, Adams. I can't believe Pumphrey's still on this friggin' roster. I got in a debate with him at one point over Twitter, and then I said, good luck next season, just to be nice to him. And then I realized, I don't even like you. But, okay. Defensively.
What did you get into an argument with him?
He was running his mouth about basketball. He had no idea what he was talking about, and I had to put him in his place.
Of course you did. Because why would you respect anybody ever?
Excuse me.
On Twitter.
I respect you all the time.
On Twitter.
I have your defense on. Who comes to your defense every time, Jess? I mean, not that you need it because you handle it, but I got your back on there.
You do. I know you do.
I got your back on there.
I'm just messing with you. I know you do.
Damn.
What am I?
Right
I want find the depth chart. I didn't. Okay, here it is. I'm trying to look at the
defense, or are you still on offense?
we might see some Jordan Mailata at right tackle.
That might be the move.
Because Vitai's in there as the number one backup for right guard and right tackle. So we're going to see him at guard because obviously Brandon Brooks can't play unless they want to play Matt Pryor and see some Matt Pryor at right guard. Who knows?
I don't know if they want to see Matt Pryor at all. I mean, maybe eventually.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look.
He had a good camp last year. They were really high on him
Carlton
last year.
Agudosi is the 6'4" wide receiver.
Right.
So you're going to see him. You're going to see Greg Ward, Mark and Michelle, because apparently, so I was listening to Ray Diddinger, and he said he's very intrigued to see Mark and Michelle and Carlton Agudosi because he thinks they could be. So we've said this, me and you, Jess. Jeffrey, Arcega-Whiteside, Aguilar, and Deshaun are your wide receivers.
Yes.
Okay? They're your wide receivers. So that's 4. You have...
There's 2 more that are going to make the team.
There's probably 2 more going to make the team. And is it going to be a Mac Hollins and a Shelton Gibson, or is Gibson done? Is it going to be Carlton, whatever?
I would love for Mac Hollins to make this team, but he needs to actually play if he's going to make this team.
And that's, Jesus, they got this Charles Johnson and Braxton Miller. They have 12 wide receivers on the roster.
That's because they had so many freaking wide receiver injuries last year.
They have so many.
They had so many issues at wide receiver last
Now, when
year.
I look at defense...
Do you remember when they literally moved Josh Perkins over to wide receiver?
I don't want to talk about Josh
Exactly.
Perkins.
He's here again. We'll see him tomorrow.
If that jackass makes the team, I'm losing my mind.
We'll see him tomorrow.
Is Derek Barnett healthy yet?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody
Someone
has
said
been
Fletcher
cleared.
Cox hasn't been practicing. Nigel Bradham hasn't been practicing.
They both had off-season surgery.
Yeah.
So none of these people are cleared to play yet. No one has been cleared. No one has been alerted that anybody but Carson Wentz.
So do you see Malik Jackson tomorrow? Probably not.
Probably not.
So you probably not Tim Jernigan either.
Oh, no.
So you're going to see Trayvon Hester. You're going to see Hassan Ridgeway, Bruce Hector at that spot. From the defensive lineman, though, you're going
to see Josh Sweat. You're going to see Sharif Miller.
Sharif, you'll see. Will you see Vinny, or does Vinny have a pass?
You're not going to see Vinny. You're going to see Deshaun Hall. Those are
the linebackers. You're going to see Jerry. You're going to see Asante Brown, who they brought in after the Camus Grugier Hill injury.
TJ Edwards, I'm anxious to see.
TJ Edwards, that's a kid from Wisconsin.
Yep, you'll see LJ Fort.
To me, I would like to see him play Zach Brown a series or 2. I don't know if they will.
They're probably not gonna. Anybody whose name you hardcore recognize on this list, you're not.
Yeah,
seeing
but when you get to the corners, can you say that?
No.
Like in my opinion, Avante's got to play.
Anybody who's healthy is going to have to.
Avante, Rasul, Sidney, Orlando. They all got to play.
Josh Hawkins will be in there. Jeremiah.
You'll get Jay Liggins. You'll get those guys.
That guy they just picked up from USC.
Yeah. You're going to see Zendejo, Trey Sullivan.
You're going to see the ones who they need to figure out who's going to be an adequate backup.
Which is interesting.
Or be able to fake it until they make it as a starter for a week or 2.
Which is interesting in the sense that normally when you get that first preseason game, Jess, we said this when we went to camp before you went on vacation. There's so many guys you're interested in seeing. A lot of them are going to play tomorrow. That's not going to be your main guys.
Right.
You're not going to see Carson bombing it out to Deshaun. Like, it's not going to happen tomorrow night.
I'm going to save that emotional moment for week 1.
For those in attendance tomorrow. I know I will be in attendance tomorrow. I will have the girls and little Luca with me. We're going to go out as a family.
I wish I was going to be there
and do the whole thing.
Night.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about preseason when I gave my availability to teach at Diva Dance, and I was like,
Yeah.
preseason.
I know. I wasn't planning on going, and then my uncle said, hey, do you want to go to the game? And I said to Alyssa, I said, let's bring Luke. I said, we'll only be there for a quarter and a half because the girls won't stay that long.
Right.
He'll be fine. He ain't going to make any noise. I said, and I don't care if it fits him yet or not. He's wearing his Carson Wentz jersey, and we're going to have a day.
That sounds like a plan.
We're going to have a day. I can't wait. I'm super excited.
That sounds fantastic. I expect pictures.
I just am trying to figure out how we're going to get him into the stadium. Like, I'm not going to stroller him in, but you have to park so far away. Am I going to carry him the whole way?
He weighs, what, 10 pounds?
Yeah, but it gets to you after a while.
It's 10 pounds. You'll live. You'll live walking to the stadium and sitting down.
If he lets me.
Oh, my God.
So,
What
yeah,
are you
so
gonna do,
I'll be
try
in
to
attendance.
walk out of your arms?
He gets a little fussy, a little fidgety.
All right, so turn him around. Put him in a different position.
I don't
Give
like
him a little different view.
I don't like the fidget. The fidget bothers me. Bothers him as a father.
He's literally 3 weeks old.
Alyssa will go, do you want me to take him? I'm like, yes.
Wow.
I'll take him back in a minute when I got him calm. But, you know, what? Listen, she could give him something I can't.
That's true.
It's called milk. I can't do it.
It's true. It's true.
And he knows it. He's not an idiot. All right? He's my son, so he's smart.
Okay.
Okay.
Now that Rob's gone off there.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell happened. I blacked out. So I'm excited tomorrow. I'm excited to see. Now, you're not going to see a lot of Miles Sanders, but I'm excited to see him on the couple series he's in the game. At the open practice, I saw the video of that jump cut that he made at the goal line. And by the way, okay, for all the people that bitched and complained about the open practice, 40,000 people showed up.
You knew they were going to be there.
And they raised a ton of money for...
No, it's awesome. It's just unfortunate that it's one. It's unfortunate that you're taking multiple people. It adds up. Okay. It's a lot of factors,
but
it is a great cause.
You know the thing that me and you went to?
Yeah.
They've done that every practice. So every season ticket holders had an opportunity. They've had youth football can go. So they do stuff.
They do stuff.
It's just a little different than other people. And you're not allowed to use your phones and all that. Like apparently they were walking around the open practice telling people to put their phones away. But then,
Makes sense.
But then like Mike Missinelli said, it brings up a good point. If you're going to charge the $10 for admission for, why can't I think of the word? For charity. Christ. He said, you got to get right to the practice. Apparently the first hour was literally them just stretching and standing around.
Yeah.
And then they practiced for an hour and that was it.
Yeah, that's how it usually is. For those, at least.
I know.
Because, I remember we went...
But I guess his point was if you're going to charge, you have to have them all stretched prior to it starting.
Yeah, so I wonder how it went this year. Because, I mean, last year, like, they opened it up for, like, where our seats are, they opened it for season ticket holders as well. Like, they let the season ticket holders come. Obviously, it was different because you didn't have to pay last year, so I don't know what they did this year. But they opened up our seats so we could go up there still. There was air conditioning, which was nice that you could go into because it was ungodly that day. Joe and I remember we went to the Phillies game and then we went to that open practice.
So
it was
a lot
Sunday
of people
night.
did yesterday, yeah.
And it was...
Or whatever it was.
It was hot as hell, but they also had food and drinks and it was all free. Like they had, it was like free alcohol. And so it was like beers and stuff. Like I got a couple free beers and they had pork sandwiches and stuff that they were free for these season ticket holders, which was another, like they do stuff for their fans. They don't, I'm not saying they don't. It's just unfortunate that it's been narrowed down to one practice. It's like, because the people that I was upset for wasn't myself. I'm very fortunate that my dad has his tickets and I get to go to games and, the season tickets that let us do that.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that some Eagles fans don't have that luxury and they aren't able to go to these games. So these open practices are their chance to be able to go, take their family, see their team.
I get all that. Absolutely.
It's that to me. So, you have multiple kids, the $10 adds up. People, the tickets sold out under 6 minutes.
Yeah, it sold out fast.
Like they go and it's only the one practice. So you have one shot to make that happen. And so that's the stuff that it bums me out that, the Eagles did that. But again, it's obviously, it's for a good cause. They raised a ridiculous amount of money, which is fantastic, especially in addition to what
they do with the bike-a-thon and
what was it? They raised like $2.5 million with that this year, and then it was like $500K the other night. So
ridiculous.
That's $3 million right there for autism research, which is again fantastic. It's just unfortunate for the people who
they probably should have more.
They should at least have multiple.
You know, that people that don't have season tickets can get to and stuff like that. As I said, for those with season tickets, if you look at their practice, those tents are set up. People are there all the time. Yeah. Coming to the practices. So, but no, I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited to watch the game. I'm actually going to record it so that when I can get home, because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to watch.
I should record it.
Yeah. I don't know how much I'll be able to watch when it comes to having the girls there. Yeah. But, we took the girls last year. It was a lot of fun to have them out there. They're excited. Right. I told them about it. I hope my wife got them their Eagles shirts from Walmart today. I went on a website to try and buy them stuff.
Ridiculous. It's
and of course, they're a pain in the ass when it comes to clothes, right? They're 4 years old, but, oh no, Dad, I want to wear this. So I asked them, do you like this? They didn't like anything. And the only thing they liked wasn't in their size. I was like, son of a... Yeah. What the hell am I going to do? So I said, Alyssa, go to Walmart, buy them Eagles shirts to wear the game tomorrow. I'll worry about buying them legitimate season stuff down the line. Now, a real father might have taken part of his $150 in NFL shop money and bought it for them, but instead, it was all for me. And I am a child. I've only had the stuff for a week. Yeah. And I've worn everything. This is one of them.
I was going to say, I've never seen that before. That's new.
This is a fantastic shirt. Love this shirt.
It looks comfy.
Oh, it's very comfy. Nice and soft. Great.
Yeah, and I have some fits coming for the season this year again. I've got some coming.
Well, we need to create a fit. We got to create our shirt on shop.prosportsnuts.com.
They're coming. Chill.
No. I'm just saying. I wasn't saying that in any other reason than it's my way of repping the shop to the listeners, Jess.
You could just do that. Be really forward about it.
Well, sometimes it's more fun to not be forward, Jess. Okay.
But yeah, my cousin is really very artistic and very, very good with things, and she is painting me a skirt and a pair of Vans.
There you
Pretty
go.
excited about. I mean, I gave them to her last August to do, and she just did it. So
I almost bought a pair of Eagles sneakers this year, and I was like, I can't go that route. Can't do it.
I have Eagles Converse.
Yeah, I almost did it, but I was like, if I spend the money on that, I'm gonna get beaten at home. So I mean, can't do that. But where were we? So yeah, anyway, shop.prosportsnotes.com. We'll be bringing you some new stuff in the coming weeks. Like we said, we have a Sixers idea out there. We also have a Eagles idea, I believe, out there, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what we have right now?
We have 3 going right now.
And was the third a Phillies thing? Or did we have 2 Eagles?
It's a community.
Yeah. Okay, I remember. I remember talking about that. You have a design?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Being worked on.
Ooh. I like that. You have to show me off the air. We don't want to.
It's not. I mean, I don't have it.
Oh, I thought you said you have it.
No, there's a third one in the works.
No, I'm depressed.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
You can be depressed as you want.
Also, listen, we're going to have some giveaways on the show, some things I wanted to talk to you about. We have a couple shirts. We have the Jackass shirt, and we also have a Ben Simmons. That's my All-Star.
I think it just says All-Star.
I know, but I just went with that because your Dragic shirt. Who is not your All-Star, by the way.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, we know. I have a couple of those shirts I'd like to give away. I actually have a pair of size 12 last year Stephen Curry all-gray shoe that I think that we need to figure out a good... Obviously, people are only going to want to partake if they can wear a size 12 shoe.
Sure.
But, it's about $100 and some shoe that, guess what? I'm going to give away to a listener of our show. So sneakerheads, anybody like that want to jump on, we'll figure out a contest to give that away. I'm going to be, we still have a lot of koozies left. I'd like to give out some more koozies.
I've been using
Jess
them on the
was
beach.
Rocking the hell out of the koozie.
Been using them on the beach.
Okay.
I don't like when my hands get cold. I don't like when my drinks get sandy. Madness.
We're
simple.
I am trying to figure out a way to create hats in bulk. I also am going to be creating credit card bottle openers. A cousin of mine just got a job with a company that makes them. I want to talk to you a little bit about that, about prices and stuff like that off air. But no, I think I'm going to handle it, but I just want to let you know that I think we're going to move forward with that. I'm here for you, Jess. You've done,
fantastic.
Jess, as Jess, we had a heartfelt moment early, about a week, within the last week, and it made me feel good. And we were talking, and I think I was apologizing for bothering you with show stuff, because I'm like, you're on vacation. And you said, I don't care if you bother me. We're a team. And I was like, wow. Yeah. It was a moment where like that real nice music like that you get on a sitcom played overhead. And I was like, this is special. This made me feel really
This is
good.
nice. This
So
is
thank
nice.
you, Jess.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
So we got a lot coming. So keep an eye on that and where you can buy this merchandise. We're going to, probably have it from a couple different places, I would assume, coming forward as we try and push this forward.
Yeah. You can find it through my website. You can find
yeah.
it through Pro Sports Notes.
Yeah.
Right now. TeePublic. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, TeePublic. So we'll see. We'll see how it all rolls out. Okay. Anything else about the Eagles?
I don't think so. What is the one thing that you're really looking forward to seeing? Like what?
So my football answer.
No, jackass. What would be like one thing that you're like in all seriousness? What is one thing you're really looking to see tomorrow night?
Do I have to pick one, or can I name like two or three
You
big
can
ones?
name two or three.
There's three big ones for me. Two are people.
Okay.
Miles Sanders, JJ Arcega-Whiteside. All I'm hearing is that Arcega-Whiteside has been really good in camp.
He's the one I'm looking to see.
And I'm super pumped to watch because like Miles Sanders may only play a couple series. I think Arcega-Whiteside's going to play a little bit more than that. He might play whole quarter, half, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious because look, and I think part of it is I didn't know who he was, right? Like when they were throwing around receivers' names for the Eagles to draft, that was not one that came to me or you.
Right.
And when they drafted him, I was like, what is that? I don't know. But from what I'm hearing, he's been a highlight. So they're two of the guys, Miles Sanders. On the defensive side of the ball, I'm really interested to watch the corners as a whole. If Sidney Jones plays, because I don't know about his health, I guess he's 100%.
I think he is because his was not like a serious tear of anything of any kind anywhere.
So I want to see, has Avonte Maddox, where has he made his step from last year? Is Sidney Jones truly playing as great as they say he's playing? It's unfortunate you're not going to see a Crevion LeBlanc for a few weeks, but
we're not going to see him until probably November.
Right, that's what I mean. So
a few weeks is an understatement on that one.
So it opens it up for guys like Rasul Douglas. Let's see where did he make his strides this year? I'm trying to think of who else in that defensive backfield. Looking at, I'm not too excited to. I mean, Orlando Scandrick, you know who he is. You know what he is. He's a camp body right now. For me, it's those three. Sidney Jones, Avonte Maddox, Rasul Douglas, who will most likely be your two outside with one guy playing the inside to start, I would assume. Where are they? And then I want to see the backup safeties because we know that defense suffered when Rodney McLeod went out. So
people undervalue how important he was.
Zendejo hasn't been that good. Well, what's he going to do in game action? What's Jonathan Cyprien? I know he hasn't been here that long, but how's he going to look?
Blake Countess is another one.
Blake Countess
is another one. They were upset to let him go a couple years ago.
I look at Blake Countess and I look at like Jonathan Cyprien. People forget Cyprien was playing with the Jacksonville Jaguars 2 years ago when that defense was stout. Okay, or 3 years ago. I mean, he's a good player. He's coming back off an ACL injury, so he actually may not even play. He's got the ACL injury. Right. But Blake Countess, so that secondary, I'm very interested to see. That's who I really want to see. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, it'll be. I'm just excited to watch games and this year really be engaged in watching these guys. And I want to watch Dillard and see how Dillard does because I know a lot of high praise for him. Obviously, like we said with Miles Sanders, I mean, Brandon Graham, they said, was smiling ear to ear talking about him. And what he said was something that I always look for in my team's players. He said he just has it. And that it factor can be huge. And a lot of people are starting to come around to the idea Miles Sanders, depending on how his usage, could be the best running back to come out of the draft class this year.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a guy that pushes.
I don't think that's a far-fetched
maybe a guy
idea.
that pushes for Rookie of the Year, depending on what he gets. Because, you have obviously a lot of guys that are going to get some time. So that's it for me. I mean, how about you, Jessica?
No, I think I kind of mentioned in there, I think J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is the guy that I'm really looking to see. I think he's going to be a really awesome weapon for Carson Wentz to have in red zone situations. I think that going forward, he's going to be a really awesome asset to have here, to be able to learn from a guy like Alshon Jeffrey, to be able to kind of be with a team that is the caliber of this Eagles team. I think he has a really good potential to grow. And from what I've seen and what I've heard and what people have told me, he was just a force in college. So, excited to see what he can bring here.
Hey, is this
Pumped. What?
is the guy that you retweeted about the music? Is that our guy?
Yeah.
Congrats to him. I'm gonna put that out there. I just saw that. Congrats to him.
Yes, my good buddy. He lived with Joseph in college. Our good buddy Braden got accepted. He had his master's degree in music production, and he is the voice you hear at the beginning of it. He made our song. He's the voice you hear in the song.
He's the guy. He's going to be our go-to guy with any music needs that we have for this show.
Super talented. He's done a couple different dance routine music for me and things, and
congrats to him.
Killing it.
Congrats to him. All right. Want to go into This Is Madness?
Hell yeah.
What do you got for me, Jess?
So, okay, I'm going to tell you about the bone I have to pick with Disney. The one. I have very few bones to pick with Disney.
Is it because you're trying to pay for the trip?
What?
Is it because you're in the process of paying for a trip?
No.
Oh.
No.
Because that's always hard to do.
Yeah,
but
that's a shame.
You pay it because it's great.
But we're eating that cost, and it's fine. Because I'm excited to go to Disney World, and I love Disney World, and it's my favorite place in the world. I've already booked.
Just rubbing it in.
It's okay. I've already booked some of our dinners. I'm excited. Do you have favorite restaurants that you enjoy?
Oh yeah.
Where do you enjoy going to?
I love going to Italy and Epcot.
Okay.
Love to eat there. We've in the past been a Chef Mickey breakfast, but at the same time, the character breakfast, the food's a little bit better if you go over to the Beach Club. They have one there.
Yep.
Good food there.
Love the Beach Club.
Alyssa and I, the last time we went to Disney, had a night to ourselves where we went to dinner, and we went into the Swan and Dolphin, and they had a nice restaurant inside Swan and Dolphin. Primetime 50s Cafe is always a fun place to eat. Although it's lost its luster, they used to be a lot more in the character there than they have been in years past. I don't know if you've ever been.
Yep.
Trying to think of where else. Magic Kingdom, there's not like a place in Magic Kingdom I have
you done Be Our Guest?
No, and that's part of the problem. I would like to do that.
Yeah.
At some point.
Just like the whole environment of it's cool.
Yeah.
The dinner, the food's actually pretty good. Breakfast, it's a lot of money for kind of a waste of time.
Most of the breakfasts are that. Like
100%.
Like we did the Princess Breakfast in Norway.
And
super expensive, and it was so cool.
Great. It's great. The food's like, you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Cinderella's Castle's the same. It's like the environment, you're like, wow, but then you're like, nah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I've never been in Cinderella's Castle, never did the Be Our Guest, but both two that I'd like to maybe do at some point. But have
you done the Sci-Fi Diner?
I've done the I actually enjoyed that.
Love that.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So we're doing that for a lunch. Flying Fish, I think we're doing. Actually, I don't remember where I booked. There's a sushi restaurant in the Swan and Dolphin that we love, that I've gone to since I was little. Okay. And we've had the same waitress there for the last 15 years, and she's still there. So that's one. There's another one that I booked that I was super excited. Oh, Jico in Animal Kingdom, at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Okay, yeah. See, now it's funny. Now when we stayed,
spectacular.
So when we stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge when I got engaged.
Right.
I proposed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and we had reservations to eat at that restaurant. So it was like the night we were supposed to leave. The following night, we were going to eat there for lunch, and we were out in Epcot the day before. And Alyssa was like, "I'm so excited to get home and show the family, and we're going to get home so late. We're not even going to be able to see them the day we get home." And we changed our flight so that we get home earlier to kind of celebrate with the family. So we didn't go eat there, but I've heard tremendous things about it. It is good.
Restaurant. I mean, you're pretty picky of an eater, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you might not like it as
much. Give me some chicken. I'll be fine. I just got to find some chicken.
Anyway, but that one's good. I'm just working on booking our dinners and stuff now. But anyway.
The Boardwalk's got some good restaurants too.
I do like the Boardwalk.
And they have some just good pizza. There's the little pizza stand there. Pizza's phenomenal.
I also just like going to eat in Morocco.
Okay. We'll eat in Mexico, too. We've eaten in Mexico a couple times.
Give me Morocco, and I will sit there.
Yeah. Now, the two restaurants in Italy, I'll mess.
The one
the pizza place.
The pizza place is good, but also that one in the back,
the wine bar. The new one is very good.
Spectacular. We have spent long, long afternoons there. Anyway, my bone to pick with Disney is with The Lion King. Spectacular. It was phenomenal.
Do not ruin it.
I won't. Spectacular. I mean, it's the same movie. It is the same movie. There's not I'm not spoiler alert, Mufasa dies. It's all the same. You'll
help
cry.
itself.
You'll cry.
Oh, yeah.
I cried several times. I cried happy
But
tears.
see, if
when
I go to
Circle
the
of
movies by myself, I normally don't cry.
Well, I cried happy tears and like some emotion took over me when Circle of Life started. Like I lost it. I also cried, obviously at that part. However, my biggest issue, I also thought the casting was spectacular. Like
Absolutely.
Billy Eichner, Seth Rogen,
Absolutely.
phenomenal.
Well done.
I also really enjoyed that I was worried about them casting Beyonce because I thought that it was going to have to be like about Beyonce and they were going to have to like change it. And I also thought that Beyonce was going to like overpower Donald Glover.
When they sang?
Yeah. I thought it was they expanded it a little bit more to give her a
Well, I
little
knew
bit
there
more
were a couple songs added or 1 or 2 songs added.
No, there's no songs added. So they expanded a little bit just to give a little more background to like kind of round out the movie a little bit. That gave her a little bit more screen time, voice time, I guess. And I thought that the song was beautifully done. However, I do have a problem with the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" scene. It's during the day. It is completely daytime.
Yeah, but it was daytime in the movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. The song is called "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" It's at sunset. Like, the sun is setting, the sky's pink. Literally, the song starts, "The Sweet Caress of Twilight." It's in broad daylight. Like 12 o'clock noon, sun, daylight, and they're singing a song called "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" That irritated me to no end, and I'm still annoyed about it. I saw that movie the weekend it came out, which was a month ago, and I am still annoyed. They changed "Be Prepared" a little bit. That wasn't a full song. It was kind of like a spoken word kind of
Who played
situation.
Scar?
Same guy. No.
It wasn't Jeremy Irons again.
No.
Should have been.
I forget. Actually, I don't remember. I'll figure that out.
If Mufasa was James Earl Jones, it should have been Jeremy Irons. But I think it was, what's his name?
I don't know. But anyway,
Okay.
So it was like a spoken
You keep
word,
talking, I'll
but
find
I didn't think it was poorly. Like, I thought it flowed very well, and I didn't really notice it until I was like, huh, that was different. But the "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" thing really, really, really bothered me.
Yeah, it was the guy who played 12 Years a Slave.
Okay. Yeah, I was really kind of annoyed by that because, like, the literal first line is "The Sweet Caress of Twilight," and the song is called "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" And it was literally broad daylight. Like, that upset me. I was disappointed in Disney for like I don't know if they just glossed over it or if that was a choice, but I was upset by it.
I don't think it was a choice per se.
Like, I don't know if that was like supposed to be like an artistic decision, but it was a bad one.
I just don't believe that people care about it.
I care about it. No, people are like, Disney people are like very upset about it.
Let me see here.
I'm a member of a couple of different Disney groups on Facebook, and people are quite upset. Anyway, do you have something?
Someone ripped the movie.
That's sad.
Yeah, I do. Just a real quick one, and then we'll end the show here. So the girls went to Princess Dance Camp.
Oh, yes.
Past week. Loved it. Had a great time. It was very cute, very well done. The studio did a tremendous job with it. It's one of the better studios in Jersey, called the Trisha Sloan Dance Studio. Mm-hmm. So it was very well done. And Jess, you could probably speak to this a little bit just because you've been involved in dance.
Okay.
For as long as you have. But like, obviously, they let you sit in the room and watch it on a TV. It's not like right in front, so you can watch it on a TV.
Yep.
So all the moms are there. And you know, obviously I'm sitting there, never being to it, and you listen to the conversations. I just feel like some of it is just a bit much. Like Alyssa said, I would love for the girl, but I'm afraid to have to come and sit here because they're only an hour class and have these conversations. Like, she goes, I'm into it for my daughters, but I'm not into it like that into it. And it was just like, oh man, like really? Like that's what this is. And I don't want to judge people because, hey, you're into what you're into. But I mean, like, especially when it's 4-year-olds who really like Ariana's dance move around the house all week has been skipping because at one point in one of the dances, they shifted their feet by jumping in the air. So Ariana will look at me and go, Dad, it's really hard. It's really hard, but I can do it. And that's great. And I think it's adorable. But, like, I feel like these moms are going home and going, that is not the right move. And it's a bit frightening for me. Do you agree being involved in dance? Mm-hmm. Like, when you've been involved in dance your whole life, was your mother tough on you, like, at that young of an age, or was it more as you got older into it? So your mother had some sense about her.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. In the dance, have you ever watched Dance Moms?
But you want to know why? It bothers me just watching the previews of Dance Moms.
Take it.
They're real, aren't they?
Go watch one of the episodes of Dance Moms that's like from the beginning. Go like watch like an early episode. Not every studio's like that, but some are. And but like this is also the kinds of people that like they want to make it. Like dance is a really hard business to make it in. And I understood at a very young age that like this is not how I was going to make a career. Mm-hmm. Simple. Like, and it's, you know, partly because I wasn't at a studio that pushed in that kind of sense. Right. And I loved that because that was my escape. That was my safe haven. And I'm so thankful for that. But there were studios that we would go to competitions against and they would have like their 6-year-olds in bras and little like underwear shorts on stage doing crazy things. I mean, it's a lot.
It's somewhat, for someone like me and Alyssa, it's somewhat frightening to go, like, no, we're not going to become that, but do we want to go and be there and listen to that? Because this studio, like I said, it's not the studio that bothered me, and it really didn't. And the people there are not pushy whatsoever,
right?
That work there. But it's like 25 minutes from our house, so it's not like we're going to be able to leave and then come back because it's only an hour class for young kids. Yeah. So, you know, but it was just like, wow, like you see Dance Moms and you're like, oh yeah, how much of this is real? And then you go, no, these people are out there.
And you know, that was one of the things when that first came out, people would come up to me and be like, oh my God, do you go to a studio like Dance Moms? And like, I didn't, but they exist. They're very real.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah,
well,
and yeah, they're a lot.
Well, that's going to end our show here today. Thank you, guys. It was good times, Jess.
It was a good time.
Back together? Are we going to do 2 weeks in a row?
We are, yeah.
We're going to do 2 weeks in a row. Now. We are back together.
I couldn't drive home from the Outer Banks. Literally 2 days after getting there, but Jersey's easier.
That's not true!
Okay.
Just put it out there. No. But, all right, well, we thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you catch us on iTunes and subscribe. Catch us on wildfireradio.com, 9 to 11 on Friday mornings, at Run This Town 13, at Philly_Madness. We're going to start bringing you guests. Get ready. The season's approaching. Embrace the madness, everybody. Have a great week.